So I made a gulab jamun cake. I know at this point you're probably like, Ash, put the gulab jamun down. And you're right, maybe I should. But also, who's judging me? Is it you? What's your issue? I'm just having a little bit of fun. Do you not like fun? Anyway, yeah, ever since I did a rasmalai cake a while ago, I've been wanting to do this. So here we are. The first thing I did was make the cake layers. I just got my vanilla cake recipe, but I replaced half of the sugar with brown sugar for extra flavor. And I also added cardamom powder. I love cardamom powder. I added to everything. Have you ever had cardamom in hot chocolate? The first time I tried it, I immediately fell to the ground. It's so warm. Let me explain. Hot chocolate is hot, but hot is a temperature, whereas warm is a feeling. When you add cardamom, it becomes hot and also warm. I love it. I digress. Gulab jamun is soaked in a syrup. I made that same syrup and brushed it onto the cake layers. This added flavor and also a lot of moistness. You are already suffering with dry knees. You shouldn't have to deal with dry cake too. So to make it, it was just some sugar, water, cardamom, saffron, and also some rose water. The final element of this cake is whipped cream. Whenever I make these like South Asian fusions, I like to use whipped cream instead of buttercream because one, it's less sweet, but also I feel like buttercream isn't a very familiar flavor. It doesn't scream Asian to me, you know? By the way, I added pieces of gulab jamun between the layers. This was for the aesthetics. I wanted to be surprised when I cut into it. But the cake already has all of the flavors. If you're worried about it being too sweet, you don't need to add the gulab jamun inside. But yeah, that is it. This cake made me so happy. I will cherish the memory of this cake for the rest of my life. Hopefully that life isn't too long though. I am tired. Anyway, I'm done. Bye. I've been on a journey to learn how to make everything. Is that realistic? Probably not, but I am delusional and believe I could. So I wanted to make some bao buns. You know, I found out that bao means bun. So when we say bao buns, we're saying bun. This is naan bread, chai tea, all over again. Why does this keep happening? Anyway, yeah, I made Korean fried chicken bao. So for the chicken, here's the thing. I don't know how Korean my Korean fried chicken is. I'm a different type of Asian. I did my research, but there was so many different recipes. I got stressed. So if you are Korean and you are side-eyeing me, I am sorry. I just marinated the chicken for a bit, then covered it with corn flour and then fried it. For the sauce, I used gochujang, soy sauce, honey, water, garlic, chili flake, red chilies, and salt. I wanted to do everything from scratch, so I made the buns myself, even the cucumber. I grew it myself. I just bought some seeds, threw it onto the concrete in my garden, manifested for 2 days, and suddenly I had a cucumber tree. It was very pretty. Unfortunately, she's died now. The buns were surprisingly easy. I just kneaded the dough until it was smooth, like your skin. I couldn't even finish that sentence. I know your skin is far from smooth, but then I made the shapes, let them rest, and then steamed them. Do you see my steam? I've always wanted one of these. Side note, I went to buy it. They were selling the basket and the lid separately. I was like, shouldn't this be a package deal? Of course, I'm a multi-millionaire, so it didn't really matter, but I was a little confused. I've just come to the realization the lid is sold separately so that you can have multiple baskets without having multiple lids. Genius! That is a genius idea. I feel like the hardest part was filling these. The chicken kept running away from me, which is understandable, to be honest. If I was able to run away from myself, I would too. But yeah, after I filled them, I ate them. Okay, bye. Do you remember these jelly tot cupcakes? I made the discontinued Smarties cupcakes like 2 weeks ago. In the comments, so many of you were talking about these. Personally, I don't remember these at all, but all of you seem to remember. I'm convinced some of you are lying. There's no way I'm the only one who doesn't remember. How could you speak lies during Lent and also Ramadan? Off the hell you go. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to make them. So here's the thing. I don't know exactly what these are. I googled it and all the packet says is yogurt flavored cupcakes. What does this mean? This could be any flavor. So I don't know what's on top of them. I just use white chocolate. This might not be authentic, but I call it innovation. I made a vanilla cupcake, but I added some yogurt into it for that yogurt flavor, but it mainly just added moistness. Once they were baked, I added some white chocolate and also the jelly tots. This is my first time trying jelly tots, I think. I don't really know. This one time when I was a child, my brother pushed me down a bridge, so now I have a bad memory. But yeah, I just let them set. I feel like I can't just say that and not explain. I'm lying. He did push me down a bridge. I went rolling, but it didn't affect my memory. I didn't even hit my head. But anyway, the cupcakes are done. Bye. I keep seeing videos of people making gochujang garlic bread. It always looks so edible and delectable. One thing about me, there is nothing in life that I love more than garlic bread. Matter of fact, the only reason why I have a small way to live is simply due to garlic bread. So I wanted to make gochujang garlic bread too. The first thing I did was roast some garlic and shallots. I only recently discovered shallots, and by that I mean I didn't discover them. I did not invent shallots, but I discovered them, you know. I didn't know what they were up until like 2 months ago. I love shallots. They're so fun. They're like onions, but weirdly shaped, like you. But yeah, I just mixed those with some butter, gochujang, chili flakes, and salt, then added this to some bread. I don't know what bread I'm using. The packet said pan long, which according to my calculations, I think that means long bread. But like, I've genuinely been confused about this. I don't understand why this bread is specified to be long. I feel like there's much longer breads out there. Those should be called long bread. This doesn't seem deserving of that long bread title. Anyway, yeah, I added the butter, some cheese, and baked everything until it was all toasty, and then that is it. raspberry and almond is a very good combination, and I feel like society has recognized this because I see a lot of raspberry and almond desserts, but I don't really see a lot of raspberry and almond croissants. So I felt like I should make them. So essentially, this is just almond croissants, but I added like a raspberry sauce. I don't really know what it's called. I googled it, but no answer showed up in the little box at the top, so I moved on. Let's just call it raspberry sauce. So to make it, I just got some raspberries and cooked it with some sugar and water. Then I added corn flour to make it nice and thick. Oh, I also ended up sieving it to get out the seeds because I like crunch, but not this kind of crunch. Seeds are not a crunch I want to be crunchy. Whilst I was chilling, I made the almond filling and also syrup. Then I put everything together. I made my croissants from scratch. You guys are of course nowhere near as talented as me, so you could just buy them, but either way, just make sure you use ones that are a little dusty crusty. The red powder that you might have noticed was freeze-dried strawberry powder. I know it's a raspberry croissant, but I opened my tub of raspberry powder and it was empty, like your bank account, so I used strawberry powder instead. You see how I could have lied and said I used raspberry powder? Who would have knew? But no, I was truthful. I would never lie to you. I have become such an amazing person. It makes me emotional thinking about it. But yeah, after they're baked, you can dig in. Okay, bye. So I know I say this about everything, but these brownies are the best brownies I've ever had. Brownie plus Oreo plus cheesecake. You will never taste a brownie this good. These brownies felt luxurious. These brownies could take everything I own and steal my identity, and I would say thank you because these brownies could do no wrong. I love them. So as you might have noticed, there are 3 parts. You got the brownie, of course. Sorry, I dropped my water bottle. There are 3 parts. You got the brownie, of course, the Oreos, which I actually made from scratch. I don't know, I thought it'd be like a fun little challenge, and then also a vanilla cheesecake. You see how easy it is to lie. I didn't make the Oreos. Why would you even believe that? I whipped up my brownie batter. Any brownie batter works, but once you made it, throw it into a tin and leave this in the fridge for like 20 minutes. Chilling it will stop the cheesecake and the brownie from mixing as they bake. Whilst I was chilling, I made the cheesecake. It was just corn flour, sugar, cream cheese, cream, and white chocolate. Oh, and also vanilla. I started this video talking about identity theft. Let me tell you something. Identity theft is real. I need to share my experience. A few months ago, there was this account that was using all my videos, acting like it was their own videos, and it was working. They were gaining followers. Honestly, I was flattered that someone would want to be me. I was like, is this their way of flirting with me? I even tried becoming friends, but they ignored my comment. Anyway, yeah, one day they disappeared. I miss them. Hello to my identity thief. If you're watching this, I miss you. Okay, once the brownie has baked, you want to leave it to chill overnight or for at least 2 hours, but the longer you wait, the better it will taste. And by that I mean, don't wait 6 months, just they taste better the next day. But yeah, after waiting, eat it and enjoy. Do you remember these cupcakes from when you were a crusty little child? I recently saw a video of someone talk about how they were discontinued years ago. I was like, stop this right now. I'm about to expose this person for being a liar. I saw these in Sainsbury's 2 days ago. Turns out I was gaslighting myself. I did definitely not see them. They have been discontinued, but not to worry, I am here. So all I did was make a chocolate cake bar and then pour this into my cupcake cases. You don't want to fill them as much as you would normally fill them. Just fill them around halfway. Do you see how nice and flat my cupcakes baked? You can never get your cupcakes to bake this flat. Loser. I need to speak my truth. They did not bake flat. They were super thick like me, but I pressed them down a little so there was more room for the chocolate. I just poured some melted chocolate on top, then added some Smarties and then chilled. I chilled them. You know, the other day I got a comment. Let me go read it. They said, who teaches these illiterate freaks English? What did I do? What did I do? Illiterate. This is defamation. I will not tolerate this. Anyway, yeah, I am done.
Welcome to part 20 of my fail of the week. I've been seeing a lot of videos of Costella cake. It always looks so soft and fluffy and jiggly. One thing about me, every time I see something jiggly, I want to immediately put my face into it. Therefore, I needed to try Mine did not end up fluffy or jiggly. Unfortunately, I feel, just like all of you, I have been cursed with flatness. Let me tell you what happened. I don't care, www. It was going okay. The fluff was fluffy and the jiggle was jiggly. Then I cut into it and poof. I was met with flatness and sadness. It broke and deflated. What's his issue? My Costella cake needed an emergency BBL. I did not have the funds. Please, can someone with money invest in the BBL of my cake? I would have been okay with the flat sadness. Flat and sad feels familiar, close to home, but the taste, it was wet. Why was it wet? I was not expecting to be greeted with such wetness.
It sounds like you underbaked it.
Nitrogen monoxide. Rule number 1, never admit your mistakes. It was the curse.
I need to confess my love for Naga wings. I love them so much. I don't even know why, to be honest. Sometimes they give me nothing but pain. But you know what I realized? I really like when my food hurts me back. I enjoy the pain. It's like a fun little game, seeing how many tears I can shed. But yeah, let's make some naga wings. So I started with some wings. I just threw a bunch of seasonings into these, as well as some garlic, ginger, lemon juice, and olive oil. I left this to marinate, and then I dipped them into some flour. I used corn flour. I didn't season this flour a lot. I decided to embrace my white side, but I don't even have a white side. I don't know why I said that, but this was my ideology. Most of the flavor was coming from the sauce, so I didn't feel like I needed to do too much to the flour, so I just did like salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of chili powder. For the sauce, to be honest, at this point, I didn't know what I was doing. Sauce! How am I supposed to know how to make that? I just started throwing everything into a wok, and it worked out. Let me give you some advice. In life, when what you're doing you don't know, just throw things. Yeah. I have become such an inspirational person. By the way, I added Naga pickle into the sauce. I used Mr. Naga. Word on the street is that it's not the best, but it's the only one I can find in my vicinity. I also added a little red food coloring just because, see, me personally, I feel like it's not spicy unless it's red, you know? But yeah, I threw the wings into this and that's pretty much it. Up until recently, I had never had bread pudding before. It's the name. Pudding. See, because to me personally, I feel like that word does not sound appealing. Quite frankly, it sounds the opposite of appealing. Disappealing. I had no motivation to try it. But one day I tried it. Bread pudding is so fun. It's so warm. Yeah, it's just warm, and I'm not only talking about the temperature, it warms my soul. I like bread pudding. So surprisingly, the first thing you need is bread. I use brioche. I only use one loaf, but I bought two just because... I don't know, stop asking me all these questions, but you know how you're old and dry. You want to use bread that is also old and dry. For the custard, it was just some milk, butter, sugar, salt, eggs, and vanilla. And I also seasoned it with some cinnamon and cardamom powder. I wanted a little crunchy crunch, so after I poured the custard over the bread, I also added some pecans and also some chocolate chips. Let's talk about pretty privilege. This is probably something you guys will never experience, but don't you feel like pecans have pretty privilege? Because in the community of nuts, I feel like pecans get a lot more respect than walnuts, and it's not right because they're kind of the same thing. Walnuts are just shorter and wider. I stand with walnuts. They deserve to be treated better. Anyway, yeah, after I baked it, I ate it. Okay? Bye. This past week, I have been on a mission to make a gulab jamun recipe. Honestly, I was under the impression that making gulab jamun is easy because that's what I had always heard. You know what I have learned? The only thing aunties do is spread judgment and lies. It took me 6 attempts to get this recipe right. 6! I feel like that's a lot. You can't even count to 6, but not to worry. I have figured out everything that can go wrong in the making of gulab jamun. So for the dough, it's just some milk powder, flour, baking powder, and also semolina. This is going to keep them soft and juicy woosy. Then I also added some oil and milk. The baking powder can cause problems if you add too much. And so many of my attempts, they kept ending up flat and misshapen like you. I was like, why does this keep happening to me? I didn't ask for this. Turns out I was adding too much baking powder. You only want a quarter teaspoon. Whilst the dough was resting, I made the syrup. Then I went back to the dough and made the balls. 2 things. Don't apply too much pressure when you do this. Gulab jamun is sensitive. They don't need any unnecessary pressure in their life. They've already been through enough. So roll them gently. And then also make sure there are no cracks. If there are cracks in your balls, you should be concerned. I just fried them and then threw them into the syrup. Every recipe does this differently, but for me, I think adding hot gulab jamun into warm syrup works best. But yeah, let these soak for 2 hours and then enjoy. Sea kebabs are my favorite food, but I feel like most places don't have very good ones, and they be overpriced. The other day I went to a restaurant, right? It was £60 for 2 sea kebabs. Okay, this never happened. One thing about me, I am a liar first, human second, but it is hard to find good ones, so I took matters into my own hands. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is grind a tomato, onion, and some chilies together. Then you want to squeeze all of the juices out of this. This is important. You don't want any unnecessary liquids in your meat. The squeezing of these ingredients will make you cry. I don't even know why. Well, I mean, I know why. It's the onions and chilies, but I don't know why. You know, because I'm trying to live a life of peace and serenity. Why would these onions and chilies disturb my peace and serenity? By the way, I'm making lamb sea kebabs. Beef or chicken works too, but once I was done crying, I added the toxic ingredients into my lamb, as well as some garlic, ginger, olive oil, lemon juice, and a bunch of seasoning. Sea kebabs are normally cooked over fire. I don't have a fire lying around, so I'll cook mine under my grill. I have a gas oven though, so my grill is actual flame, so I guess it worked out well. But a regular grill or oven or pan or air fryer will work. Halfway through cooking and at the end, I brush them with butter. This is not a time to try and be healthy. Brush them generously. The butter will make them super succulent. Plus, it's also a proven fact that the more butter you consume, the smoother and shinier your skin will be. After that, they're done. These are super juicy, super flavorful. If you like sea kebabs, you will never love sea kebabs as much as I love sea kebabs. But if you like them, you should make these. The other day, I had a vision of a chocolate cake that had a cheesecake in the middle of it. At first, I felt like I should seek help because why am I envisioning cake? But then I was like, hold on. That sounds like a very good idea. I should make it. So chocolate cheesecake is typically not my favorite. I feel like the texture of them can be a little dry. Not mine though. Mine was super creamy, dreamy, and steamy. You want to make this over 2 days because the cheesecake needs to set. So on day 1, I made the cheesecake, then threw this into my new Samsung Smart Fridge that has a screen and Spotify. Y'all too poor to have one of these. Loser. I'm sorry, I don't have one either, but I've decided to be delusional and act like I do until I do. Delusion is the best form of manifestation. I also made the cake layers on this day just so that I didn't have to do it the next day. Don't worry about them becoming dry. My cakes are not like your knees, they retain moisture well. Do you want to know who I love? Kali Uchis. Her new album has made my soul so happy. I think her fans are called the Coochies. I would like to announce that I am a part of the Coochies. The next day, you just want to put the layers together. I didn't decorate or ice this cake because you know what? I'm tired. Why has society made us believe that cakes need to be decorated? It's not right. I will not tolerate this. I have decided to revolt. But yeah, this cheesecake cake was a lot easier to make than I expected. It doesn't get any easier peasier than this. Well, I mean, it does. It definitely does. But for the sake of this video, let us all come together and agree that it doesn't, okay? Thank you. Hello. Today is a day. Today is a day. I am so grateful to be alive on this day. No, but it's a recipe testing day. I thought it would be fun to show you guys what I made. Recipe number 1. So basically, I am in my cooking era. Yeah, because I just want to know how to make more food because I feel like people can either bake or cook. It's very rare to find someone who can do both. I want to be that person who can do both. So today, we are making sea kebabs. I love sea kebabs. Sea kebabs are one of my favorite foods to have ever existed. So my only fear is that these are going to fall off the sticks as they cook. I was trying to say that my only fear is that these are going to fall off the sticks as they cook because I don't know what's congealing them together. These are looking very... Can you see it? Sea kebabi. Okay. I'm just going to cook them under my grill. These are looking pretty good. I don't even know how to take them off the sticks though. Ah! Oh! Not to tickle my own pickle, but these, 9 out of 10. Minus 1 point because next time I'll probably make them a little more spicier. But apart from that, 9 out of 10. I'm just so talented. Okay, recipe number 2. I want to make gulab jamun. I've been trying to make a gulab jamun recipe for 2 years. And by 2 years, I only tried them twice, but it was over the span of 2 years. Each time I've tried making them, they disintegrate. They disintegrate. Yeah, but today, I have been manifesting success all morning, so I feel like they're gonna work. So they are looking pretty good, but let's see how they taste. They're still hot, so I should probably wait, but I want to try. Oh, can you see that? It's looking like a gulab jamun. Recipe number 3, this is a toasted milk powder cookie. Apparently toasted milk powder gives a really nice delectable flavor to cookies, so I wanted to try it. This is why I have trust issues. It's a cookie. It's definitely a cookie, but I was expecting to be punched in the face with flavor. Instead, I'm just being slightly tickled. It didn't really do anything. So the sea kebabs were great. The gulab jamun, I feel like I want to try them a few more times. This cookie, I don't ever want to see this cookie in my face ever again. But yeah, I think I'm done for the day. Okay, bye. A few weeks ago, I woke up with the urge to make Nando's at home. So you know what I did? I didn't make it. Cooking gives me nothing but stress, so I kept putting it off. But 2 weeks later, I finally did it. Hi, can I have half a chicken peri-peri chips, halloumi, and garlic bread, please? I don't need to say that no more. Well, I mean, I haven't said that in a while. I just ordered on my phone. But in theory, I don't need to say that no more. So the first thing I did was roast some, what is all this called? Vegetables. Do chilies count? So Google has just informed me that chilies and peppers are fruits. Google is a big fat liar. I refuse to believe this. But yeah, I just roasted them until they were all wrinkled like your elbows and blended them with some lemon juice, olive oil, and some seasoning. I threw this over the chicken, then let it marinate overnight. Then the next day, I cooked it. I don't really be cooking whole meals like this, so during the process, I was overwhelmed. I was really appreciative of the ease of just going to Nando's, mumbling and cackling for a little bit and then leaving. It's so much easier. For the garlic bread, I was actually going to do this in a separate video, but I was like, you know what? And for the people no one's come back for part 2. Part 2's are for losers. So roast some garlic, then mix it with some butter and pasta, and then put it onto your bread. I used ciabatta. Nando's uses a Portuguese roll, but I didn't know where to get that from. I actually was in Portugal last week. I probably should have bought a few back. I lied. I was not in Portugal last week. I don't even know why I said that. I also cooked my halloumi and then the chips in an air fryer because I have decided I need to start being more healthy because I refuse to die before I get the chance to go to a scissor concert. Shout out to South Africa. Yeah, that's all. I feel like South Africa doesn't get enough appreciation for inventing Nando's. They deserve to be appreciated. But yeah, I am done. Thank you for being here. Bye. I've never had a lemon meringue pie before, so you know what I did? I made a lemon meringue cake instead. I don't know, lemon meringue in cake formation seemed a little more fun, fresh and exciting, so I wanted to make that instead. So the cake batter was just a regular vanilla cake batter. The only difference is that I rubbed the sugar with some lemon zest. I've been seeing everyone and their deceased great uncle do this. Apparently it gives you more lemony flavor. I don't know if it made a huge difference, but it felt nice on my fingers. It was like exfoliating. You know, fun story, back in the day, like 4 years ago, I went through a phase where I was like, why do I need to buy skincare when I can just make it? I started rubbing brown sugar on my face. Just dry, raw brown sugar. I don't know what possessed me to do that, but I'm so glad I'm out of that phase. I digress. After the cake was baked, I poured the lemon syrup, that was not in English. I poured a lemon simple syrup over it. Most of the lemon flavor was coming from this. It was just sugar, water, and lemon juice. For the meringue, egg whites, salt, and sugar. Heat this, then whip it until you get super thick, firm peaks. I forgot to add the vanilla. Add some vanilla, then add it to the cake. Let me describe this cake. Imagine a fluffy cloud. Bear had felled all the way down to the ground. Bear happened to fall onto a lemon garden. One day you went lemon picking with your pet chicken and you saw the fallen cloud, so you took a bite out of it. It was the fluffiest, juiciest, flavorful thing you have ever bitten. That's what this cake tasted like. I keep seeing videos of people trying fried chicken ice cream. Honestly, fried chicken ice cream does sound a little fun. I want to try fried chicken ice cream, so I'm going to try making it myself because unfortunately it's not in my close vicinity. So I heard that they have Twix inside of them to represent the bone. I feel like Twix is a weird choice. It's not the most chicken-y. Well, they're always small. So here's my plan, the Twix ice cream. I'm just going to form the ice cream around the Twix. It's cold. Does that look like a chicken? So I've got this idea, right? The ice cream is melting because my hands are warm, so I'm gonna put ice on my hands first. Let's see if that does something. This is so stupid. Why am I doing this? I've got a pan C. I've got some cling film instead. I feel like if I wrap the ice cream in here, then also I don't even need to touch it. It will form by itself. Oh, this is working. This is working. I am a bloody genius. No one is as smart as me. You would never think of this. You would never. Does this look like a chicken leg? Can you see it? Wait, let me get my mic. Does this look like a chicken leg? Say yes if you think it does. Why would you say no? Knowing how I feel, you could have just lied. So I've done 6. For my mental sanity, I'm just gonna leave it at 6. My fried chicken is chilling with the samosas. My fried chicken is chilling with the samosas, so I'm just gonna do the outside. I think the outside is just cornflakes. I don't see what else it could be. So it isn't the most chicken leg looking chicken, but you know what? Chicken legs come in all shapes and sizes. I am sure that there is a chicken out there watching this whose leg looked just like this and they're glad they're finally getting some representation. Hi, it's the next day. I ordered a mini bucket from KFC just for the aesthetics, you know. They didn't give me a bucket. This normally comes in a mini bucket. It's fine. It's fine. We don't need the bucket. It's okay. Let me show you something. Which one is the real chicken? You can't even tell. I know, I'm so talented. I found the bone. The cornflakes, soggy. The ice cream, very cold. The Twix, extremely hard. Yeah, I don't know. This video was extremely unnecessary. I don't know why I did this. I'm sorry. Okay, bye. I don't like bananas. The texture is not a texture I like inside of my mouth, but banana bread, 10 out of 10. Chocolate banana bread though, immediate 12 out of 10. It's so much more fun. Yeah, it's so much more fun. So the first thing I did to make this was cook my bananas. You don't need to do this, but my bananas were just very green. I fear I may have just been caught in a lie. You saw the bananas, they were not green at all, but cooking them just makes them a little sweeter. Do you see the way the bananas are squirting out of the skin? I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. It makes me uncomfortable. It's the way they just slide out. My prayer is that I never have to see this again. The rest of the ingredients are your basic banana bread ingredients. Just sugar, eggs, oil, buttermilk, flour, salt, and baking powder. I know that mine isn't in your typical banana bread formation. Basically, let me tell you what happened. I have been robbed, but they only took my loaf. You want to hear about the time where I was a slimy little thief? Back in the day in school, I was like 10. There was this blue crayon. It was the prettiest blue I have ever seen to this day. I have still never found such a nice shade of blue, so I took it. I felt so guilty the next day I took it back. I learned from a young age that the criminal lifestyle was not for me. Anyway, I added a ganache on top, mainly just because my cake broke a little, so I was trying to conceal the mistake. Unfortunately, your parents couldn't do that with you. But yeah, after that, I cut into it and ate it. I've never posted just a vanilla cupcake recipe. That seems not okay. You all need to start holding me accountable for my wrongdoings. But yeah, you see my cupcakes, super fluffy and super cakey. So cupcakes, I usually prefer oil in them because it gives a moister cupcake. But when it comes to vanilla ones, they can sometimes lack flavor. Especially since you're all poor, so you're probably using a cheaper vanilla. So butter and oil is better to use for these, just for that extra buttery flavor. Beat your butter, oil, sugar and vanilla for 5 minutes. Don't skip this, otherwise the cupcakes will resemble you. Sad and deflated. Add some eggs into this, then some self-raising flour and milk. You guys are always like, Ashley, how do you get the tops of your cupcakes to be flat? Let me tell you what I do. Nothing. I do nothing. I think the recipe just bakes this way. I added my Swiss meringue buttercream on top of the cupcakes and then also some sprinkles. This is the end of an era. Basically, back in 2020 when I first started making videos, I accidentally bought 5 kg of sprinkles because I forget to read the description of things. This is a problem that I am trying to work on. But today, those sprinkles have finished. I don't even like sprinkles, to be honest. They're so crunchy. Why are they so crunchy? Someone needs to invent soft sprinkles. Is that already a thing, or am I a visionary? Anyway, yeah, the cupcakes are done. I have been on a mission to recreate the super thick Levain bakery cookies. To be honest, I'm kind of late. I feel like everyone did this like 2 years ago. Leave me alone. I've been procrastinating for 2 years. But yeah, these cookies are so crispy, but also so soft and gooey on the inside. So the main goal for these cookies was thickness. So in order to achieve a thick cookie, the first thing I did was use cold butter instead of melted or soft. Then the second change was an extra egg yolk because egg yolks equals fat. So therefore, cookie also equals fat. That was my theory. And I also added some corn flour into the flour mixture because turns out this makes them spread less. This dough will almost be as dry and crusty as you. Your level of dry and crusty is unachievable, you know, but in this case, we want the dryness. To make the cookie dough balls, I didn't squeeze the dough together, I just gently pressed it. You don't want a compact ball, you want a loosey-goosey crumbly ball. Also, for the extra thickness, form them into like mountains instead of spherical balls. Speaking of mountains, you want to hear about my delusionality? I am convinced I could walk up Mount Everest with ease. I can't even walk up my own stairs without gasping for air, so I don't know where this confidence is coming from, but I do believe I could do it. For the Levain Bakery crispiness, typically you would bake cookies at 180°. I bake these at 220°. According to my calculations, in Fahrenheit, that would be... yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what the equation for that is. All I know is that the area of a circle is pi r squared. But yeah, my ones did burn a little. Let's just excuse those, okay? Bye. Recently in a video, I said I don't really know what mousse is, so I decided I should probably learn. So I made a triple chocolate mousse cake. Do you see the layers? The layers are so layery. I gasped when I saw the inside of this cake. I was like, wow, I am so much more than just good looks. I have talent. So the first thing I did was make the crust. I went with Oreos because I felt like that would go well with the mousse. So Oreos, crush them, butter, melt them, mix them together, and then throw this into a tin. For the mousse, I still don't know what mousse is. I found so many different ways to make it. I don't know which way is correct. So to keep it easy peasy lemon squeezy, I just melted some chocolate and milk together, then added this into some whipped cream. I made the mousse 3 times and then... huh? Moo? Do you guys want to hear my cow impression? I'm very good at animals. Moo. I know. Was that a cow or me? You will never know. I made the mousse 3 times with dark milk and white chocolate, and I also kept freezing it between each layer just so that they wouldn't mix together. Do you see the simplicity of this cake? You need to make it. Your family's gonna be like, did you get this from a Michelin star restaurant? And you're gonna be like, no, I got the recipe from this super rich fitness influencer called Ash. They won't believe you. Anyway, yeah, bye. I woke up at 5 a.m. feeling like tanghulu. So let's make some tanghulu. So here's the thing. I love tanghulu. I used to make it every 2 to 3 business days until I realized how bad it was for like my diabetes. But you know what I decided? A little diabetes isn't going to stop me. So I am back to making tanghulu. I've got a cup of sugar and a cup of water. I'm just going to boil this until it changes colour slightly. I've never actually done this without a thermometer, so I don't really know if this is going to work. Basically, my thermometer melted. Don't you feel like that's the thing a thermometer should not do? It's a thermometer. It has one job, to thermometerize. And it couldn't even do that. The sugar is ready. I am not ready. It snuck up on me. Okay. It doesn't... Are you seeing this? It doesn't fit. Spoon. I need a spoon. I'm having an issue. If the strawberries are not staying on the stick, why is... So this didn't work. I don't think I've done this right. This doesn't taste like the tanghulu I know. Oh, give me a second. I don't know why it's so sticky. This was not the plan. God, why do you always give me the hardest battles? I don't know how this happened. Okay, bye. S'mores are not good. I am tired of the lies. Every time I hear someone talk about how good they are, I get the heebie-jeebies. Because I have a theory that the S'mores marketing team has casted some kind of spell on everyone. Because there is no way people like them that much. They're so underwhelming. With that being said though, S'mores cupcakes, 12 out of 10. They're so good. They're soft, crunchy, and marshmallowy. I love them. So I made a crusty crust first. I just used some crushed digestives and butter. Any biscuits will work though. For the cupcakes, I've been trying to make a new chocolate cake recipe recently because I got tired of my last one. This one is so nice. It's soft and fluffy and light and airy. Essentially all I did was get my red velvet cake recipe because I really like that one. I just got that and made it more chocolatey. For the marshmallowy part, this was a Swiss meringue. I just got some eggs, sugar and salt, heated this until the sugar had dissolved, and then I whipped it until I got stiff peas. I filled the cupcakes with some Nutella, then added the meringue and then torched them. I have learned you need to be careful when you torch them. Turns out cupcake cases are very flammable, huh? Flammable. They set on fire very easily. I know all you poor folk are gonna ask me how to do this without a blowtorch. I don't know. Maybe try a lighter. Normally I would say to just put them under your grill, but I don't know if the cupcake cases will be okay under a grill. You could try it though, but if a fire happens to start, that's on you. Don't say you got the idea from me. Stop lying. You sound delusional. But yeah, the cupcakes are done. Bye. You have 5 seconds to guess the flavor of this cake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Masala chai. Oh, this cake smells so good. That was my main takeaway. Yes, the taste was great, but the smell particles that traveled into my nose were so nice. So this cake has 3 different parts. You got the cake layers, the whipped cream, and then the masala chai that I poured over the cake layers. I made the cake first. I made a fluffy, spongy kind of cake because I feel like those suck up flavor a lot better than a regular cake. So yeah, I just made the cake batter. I also added some of the chai masala into the batter. Once they were baked, I poured some chai over them. You don't want to add too much because stability. If you add too much, it will taste nice, but it will like fall. The cake will like, it will... Why do I need to elaborate? Just don't add too much. For the whipped cream, I kept this plain, just vanilla flavored. I felt like if I made this chai flavored too, it would be too much. The cake would be masala chai. But I was going for masala chai. You know, don't even try telling me that doesn't make sense. It makes sense. Do you see how the sides of my cake is not very smooth? It's a little rough. That's not because I overwhipped the cream. No, I could do no wrong. Let me tell you why it was not smooth. I was inspired by your skin. You were my muse. Thank you. But yeah, I just let this Huh? That was definitely no words. I let this chill and then I ate it. Okay? Bye. Around 1.2 years ago, back when I was happy. Actually, I don't think that's true. I don't know if I've ever truly been happy. I'm still waiting for the day, but sometimes it feels like that day is never gonna arrive. Anyway, I made tiramisu cookies. They were very good cookies if you ask me, so I wanted to personally experience them again, and I wanted you guys to experience them again too. The cookie is just a basic cookie. The only difference is that I added coffee to it. I used coffee granules. As you may have noticed, it didn't dissolve very well. I probably should have used coffee powder. Sometimes people make mistakes, and if you judge them for those mistakes, you are an example of a hater. I am appalled by you. For the mascarpone cream on top, it was just double cream, icing sugar, and vanilla. I whipped that until I got like a medium thickness. You don't want it to be too thick, just a nice medium thick, you know. And then I added the mascarpone. You want to dust these with some cocoa powder for that tiramisu look. Not too much though. Eating too much dry powder is a choking hazard. Fun fact, when I was younger, you know baby powder, I used to eat it. It was kind of tasty. But yeah, the cookies are done. You see my buttercream? Smooth, shiny, glistening, glistening. I know you wish you were as smooth and shiny as my buttercream. Honestly, I do too. I have a manifestation board. A picture of my buttercream is on there. I posted a buttercream recipe like 1 or 2 years ago. I have learned so much more since then, so I wanted to share my new knowledge. So this is a Swiss meringue buttercream, so you want to start with egg whites. I'm using 12 here. I know what you're thinking. 12? In this economy, I know, I'm richer than you, but I'm making a big batch here. You can half or quarter. I recommend using the egg whites from a bottle just so that you don't have a bunch of egg yolks left over. You want to heat this until you can't feel any sugar anymore, and then just whip it until it has cooled down. This is one recipe where you can't really make it by hand. You need some kind of electric mixer because you're going to need a lot of strength and power to whip it. And I know you might think you're built differently, but no. I mean this respectfully, you don't have the strength. When you add the butter, it will go soupy at first. Don't be alarmed. You need to just keep mixing. It will come together. The first time I made this, it went soupy, so I got offended and gave up. The second time I made it, it went soupy again. In my soul, I felt like a breakdown was arriving, so I left my kitchen because I didn't want my mixer to think I was a loser. When I came back, It was perfect. It just needs some time. At this point, it is done. You can use it, but it will be very thick and have a lot of air bubbles in it. So to get rid of these, I melt some of the buttercream, add it into the rest, and then mix everything on low speed for around 10 minutes. This is what's going to make it super smooth and shiny. I used to add a small drop of purple food coloring to get rid of the yellow tones, but recently I've been liking buttercream that has some yellow tones. I don't know. It just feels warmer, more welcoming. When I see things that are extremely white, I'm like, ah! Colonization, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? It just feels warmer when it's off-white. But yeah, if you've never tried Swiss meringue buttercream, you need to right now. It's very good. I wanted to recreate another cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. I'm always seeing this Oreo one that they do. It always looks so nice and delectable. I needed to try it. Making this was the best decision I have ever made. I no longer hate it here. I now have a will to live. This cheesecake saved me. So here's the thing. There is a lot to this. Truthfully, I was stressed. There's 4 different parts. I was like, 4? That's too much, but it is worth it. I made the chocolate cake layer first and left this in the fridge overnight. Then I also made a vanilla cheesecake with Oreos in the center. I just baked this and left this chill overnight too. The next day, I made an Oreo mousse with some cream, sugar, mashed up Oreos, and white chocolate. I don't really know how moussey this is. I've never made mousse. What even is mousse? So I don't really know what. You know, this one time I was convinced I saw a moose, like the animal. I was so confused. Why was there a random moose in the streets of Oldham? Turns out it was a reindeer. I mean, that doesn't really explain anything. Why was there a random reindeer? But yeah, moral of the story is moose and reindeers kind of look similar. I feel like sometimes in my videos I seem a little not smart in the head. I need you guys to know that I'm actually a genius. Fun fact, Albert Einstein was my dad. And you might be thinking, Ashley, are you not Pakistani? Are you diminishing my ethnicity? That has nothing to do with anything. Anyway, I covered this with a chocolate ganache. I used a dark chocolate one because there's a lot of sugar in the different layers, so I felt like the dark chocolate would cut the sweetness I also didn't really decorate this. I just wanted to eat it at this point. So yeah, I just cut into it and ate it. Okay? Bye. I love pistachios. You don't understand my love for them. No other nut has ever excited me the way pistachios do. Sometimes I just be sucking on the shells. That's how much I love them. So I wanted to make pistachio croissants. Almond croissants are old now. It's time for the pistachio ones to have their moment. You want to start with some pistachios, preferably unsalted ones. All you need to do is grind them until they become super fine. Keep an eye on this though, because if you grind them for too long, they start releasing oils and then they'll end up greasy like your hair. And then at some point you'll end up with pistachio butter, which will taste nice, but that's not the goal. For the actual filling, you just need to beat some butter and sugar, then add an egg, the pistachio, some corn flour, and a little bit of milk. The croissants you use, you want them to be like you, nice, rich, and tasty. I'm just kidding. I meant all dry and crusty because stale ones will suck up the juices a lot better. I made my croissants. Yeah, I made them. Whilst these were baking, I saw that some of the tops of the croissants tried running away. I was like, please, come back. I have attachment issues, but it's fine. If this happens, just slide the tops back on. I just baked them until they were super duper flaky, and then I dug in. Okay? Bye. A lot of the desserts I make usually take a minimum 4 hours. I personally like that though. It helps distract me from everything, I guess. But I want to start making some things that are a little quicker and easier to make. So today, I made these super flaky puff pastry croissants. So all you need is 2 sheets of puff pastry and then some Nutella. I mean, you could use whatever filling you want. I guess not whatever. You don't want to add like a Sikh kebab. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my mind. Fun fact, Sikh kebabs are my favorite food. I love them. Anyway, yeah, add the Nutella, another sheet of puff pastry, and then cut some isosceles triangles. To get puff pastry to actually puff, you need to bake it in a hot oven. Otherwise, you will have flat, dusty, crusty croissants. That's not fun. No one wants anything that's flat, dusty, and crusty. That's why you're single, but you want to bake this in an oven that's at 220 degrees C. I threw some icing sugar on top, and then they're done. This could have been like a 20-second video. I like to talk, okay? Let me live. But yeah, that is it. Have you ever seen those New York style cookies, the super thick ones? Ding. I wanted to try making them. I don't really know how I want to achieve such a thick, voluptuous cookie, but we're gonna figure it out together. So I've got my regular cookie recipe, but I'm gonna change a few things. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use solid butter instead of melted. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like that will do something. My goal is, you know, the Levain bakery cookies. That's my goal. My butter is kind of melting. I don't really know. I was trying to say that my butter is kind of melting, so I'm going to freeze it for a bit. The second change is that I'm going to use more brown sugar than white because brown sugar seems a little thicker, so I feel like that will give me a thicker cookie. I'm going to add an extra egg yolk. Something about egg yolks being fatty. Apparently it does something. Levain Bakery adds a lot of chocolate chips to their cookies, so I'm going to add a lot of chocolate chips too. I think they also add walnuts. Should I add walnuts to my cookie? Say yes if you think I should. Okay, I will. Do you want to see a cool trick? walnuts. Watch. I am so talented. You wish you were me so bad. So these are cookies. They're definitely cookies, but I don't know, they're just not as thick and gooey as I wanted them to be. The taste though, 10 out of 10. But I feel like I need to try them again.